we unleashed the Islamic State upon the region and upon ourselves. It's a direct result of the invasion of Iraq. The very thing we say we went there to prevent is the very thing we created. But by going to Iraq, we provided a platform for a new revolutionary kind of holy war to emerge that's far worse than Al-Qaeda itself. And that's simply because we went in and we removed a regime that wasn't a particularly pleasant regime to begin with, but it was holding certain forces in check. And we removed that and created a vacuum, and one man stepped into that vacuum. And almost single-handedly, almost from nothing, he created what we now call the Islamic State.
Look, I have absolutely no doubt that we have ourselves to blame for this. I thought the purpose of the first Gulf War was to eliminate the weapons of mass destruction and to eliminate or reduce their capacity to actually create them. So it didn't seem like a sensible argument. The link between Iraq and Al-Qaeda was pretty vague. I was concerned that by going into Iraq at that stage, in what was in my mind an illegal war, would risk creating civil war in the name of democracy, and pretty much that's where I think we've ended up. And then we left without finishing the job in a military sense, so we've created another layer of complexity. And the justifications for why we were there kept changing at political level. When they found there were no weapons of mass destruction, it was another reason. Had to change, regime change, and then after regime change was pass the power back to the people of Iraq to govern themselves and provide their own security. I think that is a very, very sorry period of our international history, and Australia's role in that, I think, should be an embarrassment to all of us.
Madam Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, the Iraq War has raged for 12 years and created the circumstances for the rise of Islamic State, and all on the basis of the lies about weapons of mass destruction and Osama bin Laden. Prime Minister, seeing as we helped start this war and create the Islamic State threat, will you acknowledge the Howard government got it very wrong and agree to a proper war inquiry?
I call the Honourable the Prime Minister.
Well, Madam Speaker, I appreciate that this is a matter which is very important to the member for Denison. I appreciate that he had deeply held views on that particular conflict, and Madam Speaker, I would probably be prepared to concede that he was right to feel a little bruised by some of the treatment that he was given at that time. But, Madam Speaker, I don't want to dwell on the past. I would rather deal with today's problems than yesterday's problems.